The latest attack was on a house in a Tufah neighborhood in the eastern parts of the Gaza city, and this house is for Al-Siam family, where at least one Palestinian have been killed and at least 25 others are still trapped under the rubble. The story is no one is able to reach those 25 Palestinians trapped because civil defense teams and paramedics are not allowed to reach the area. According to the health workers, they said that they tried to approach the house, but the Israeli quadcopters shot live ammunition on them, so they were forced to go back and to wait for an Israeli approval to reach that area. This is one of the stories that always happened where dozens of Palestinians are trapped, and due to the fact that no one is able to reach them, they suffocate and die because they're trapped under the rubble. But this was not the only massacre that has been committed against the Palestinians today. Earlier today, the Israeli forces targeted a tent in Al-Mawasi in Khan Yunis, where at least 10 Palestinians have been killed, dozens have been injured, and among the 10 that have been killed were 7 women and children. There was also continuous artillery shelling in different areas across the Gaza Strip, but hospitals in the Gaza Strip are overwhelmed, where Palestinians are waiting on the floor, waiting to get their treatment by the doctors are saying that there are a lot of challenges where they need to prioritize cases. That's one. And two, that there are no medical supplies or resources. We're talking about 2 months of not a single aid truck or medical supplies entered the Gaza Strip. So that the situation is deteriorating every single day.
Gaza's health ministry says at least 3,500 children are on the brink of starvation because of Israel's ongoing blockade of the Strip. It says 57 Palestinians, mostly children, have already died of malnutrition. Israel has prevented food, water, medicine and fuel from entering the Strip for 3 months. Earlier, my colleague Deir al Balah spoke with Mohamad Elmasry. He's a professor of media studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. He says the international community has failed to stop Israel from blocking crucial supplies from entering Gaza.
The obvious, kind of elephant in the room here is, why doesn't Egypt take a stronger stance here, right? I mean, Egypt has some control, and I think we've oftentimes tried to skip over that fact. But they are basically subservient to Israel and the United States, and they've been collaborators with Israel, not just now, but for the past, for the better part of 2 decades, imposing a siege on Gaza. It wasn't just an Israeli siege; it was primarily an Israeli blockade, but it was executed in part by the Egyptians. And so I do think that that's a fair question. Where are the Egyptians? Clearly, they don't want to confront Israel, and we have to remember that the Egyptians have not been friends of the Palestinians, certainly not friends of Hamas.
But where is the sort of the rest of the world, right? I mean, people are starving, children are dying of malnutrition. Yeah. This just seems to be a failure of any sort of international law or any sort of global order.
Absolutely, and it's not just that they're blocking entry at the border. You had this reported attack on an aid ship, on the Humanitarian flotilla just the other day, and Israel just seems to be sort of drunk on impunity. They've gotten away with so many atrocities over the past 19 months that I think they just figure that they can do pretty much whatever they want. And to your point, the international community has done next to nothing. I mean, this is a primary example of the international community failing an entire population. And I think the Palestinians are rightly, with these man on the street interviews, they're rightly asking where is the world? Where is the international community? Where is the international rules-based order? Mm-hmm. It seems not to apply to the Palestinians.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.